Alright, Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 1. So if you guys don't know, is that this season was split into 3 parts. So welcome to my review for Part 1 of Season 6 of Cobra Kai. Now, let me just say this. I probably said this in my last review of Cobra Kai, but I'm going to say it again. Like, this show is literally proof that you can bring back an old franchise and continue the story. Like, and you know what? This is how you do it. Not like what happened with some other franchises where they brought it back, but it came back as, and they basically, destroyed the characters and destroyed the story. This is how you do it. Because when you have writers that can, produce a good story, you care about the characters, and the characters evolve from the original to now. This is how you do it. This is how it should be made. So with that said, let's get into the review. So this whole part is basically they're preparing for the Sekai Taikai tournament. So everybody's pretty much training in this part of the season. So basically what happens is that Daniel and Johnny are basically training their students to prepare them for the Sekai Taikai tournament. Now, because of the Sekai Taikai's rules and basically how the tournament's going to work is basically not everyone gets to go. So basically through testing and training, basically they select who's going to go and who's going to stay behind. And not only that, they have to choose who their two captains are going to be. It has to be male and female. Now, they do get some help from, I can't remember the character's name, but he helps decide who's going to stay, who's going to go. So he basically puts them in hard training and some little games that they have to play to decide who's going to go, who's going to stay. Now, through this, there's some tensions between some of the characters, and some rivalries actually end in this part of the season, so that's good to see because some rivalries have gone too long. So yeah, that's good to see. But there seems to be some tensions among the student, among the kids. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, Chosen's character is pretty much done after this because he basically buys a ticket to go back to Okinawa because he's got feelings for Kimiko. So I don't think he's going to come back after this. So I think his character arc is fully done. Actually, I am hoping that at the end of part 3 somewhere, I really hope we get a scene to where Chosen and Kimiko get together, because it will be a happy ending for them. It will be the end of their character arc. So yeah, it will be a nice scene for them to end their stories. So yeah, hopefully we get that. Now about Chris. So he goes to South Korea to find his old master. Now his master, I have no idea how this guy's still alive. This guy has to be 150 years old by now. When Chris first came out of the army, when you first trained him, he had to be at least 90 years old at the time. How old is this guy now? He has to be 150 years old by now. So I have no idea how this guy's still alive. Obviously, this is an Easter egg to anime and some kung fu movies where when the little kid goes to train the first time to an old master, he's 90 years old, right? And then the kid turns 30 and the master somehow still alive. This is obviously an Easter egg for that. But yeah, his master, I have no idea how this guy's still alive. So anyway, so his master basically tells Chris that he needs to get rid of his weakness, right? So he sends him into a cave to where he needs to pass a trial, right? Now Chris, his weakness is basically his love for Johnny, right? So he passes the test and now he claims he doesn't have any feelings for Johnny, right? Which I highly doubt, right? I highly doubt that. But after that, he becomes the new sensei of his school, right? He becomes a new sensei. Now, I think they call it Tai-Do, but it's pretty much Taekwondo, right? Because you can tell by the way they move, the way they do the spinning kicks, it's basically Taekwondo. The actors they actually chose for these roles, they do real Taekwondo. I can tell because I've trained in Taekwondo before and I'm very familiar with their movements. And I can tell you their movements are very clean and they look legit. Yeah, they do real Taekwondo, I can tell. The main guy, the cocky one that's there. Now, I can't remember his real name, but I have seen him somewhere before. I can tell you he's a legitimate Taekwondo guy. And he's got some badass spinning heel kicks. Guys, I'm telling you right now, in part 2, during the Sekai Taikai tournament, when it's his turn, you're gonna see some badass spinning kicks from him. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna see some badass spinning heel kicks from him. And I'm calling it now. He's gonna be the rival to Robbie. I'm calling it now. I reckon the final fight will be in between Robbie and in this guy. I'm telling you now. It's gonna be a huge fight. I'm calling it now. Now, about the other Taekwondo guy, you know, the tall guy with that originally had the badge, he's gonna go up against Miguel. I'm telling you now, he's gonna go up against Miguel. Now, this is what I think is gonna happen. I think Miguel is going to beat him. I really do. I think Miguel is going to beat him. And then what's going to happen is the other guy that I was talking about before with the badass spinning kicks, he's going to destroy Miguel in the tournament. He's going to destroy him. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to be him and Robbie at like the big final fight. Robbie's going to be like the last man standing or something like that, right? It's going to be up to, that's going to be the last fight between Robbie and the guy I was talking about with the badass spinning kicks. It's going to be, it's going to come down to those two. I'm calling that now. I am calling that now. So, about the female fighters. Now, this is the part I actually kind of didn't like, right? So, I'll tell you what happens. So, basically, Tori's mom dies, right? And she's under a lot of stress and she blames the world and all that, yeah? So, basically, what happens is at the end of the episode, at the end of the last episode of this part, like when everybody's arriving at the Sekai Taikai, basically, it's revealed that Tori has switched sides. She's gone to Cobra Kai. She's gone back to Kreese. Now, obviously, this is a setup to set up a fight between Samantha and Tori, right? Obviously, this is going to be obviously the final fight of the female side. It's going to be a fight between those two. Their rivalry is going to end with this fight. And obviously Tori's going to join the light side again after this. They're going to become friends again with Samantha. I can guarantee you. It's obvious, you know? I'm pretty sure that that's what's going to happen. Now, I want to talk about Mr. Miyagi. So, it's revealed that in this part of the season is that Mr. Miyagi was not the world's perfect guy. He's actually been hiding a lot of secrets. So what happens is that Daniel, he finds a mystery box, like a box hidden underneath Mr. Miyagi's bed. Right? And basically it's revealed that Mr. Miyagi actually committed a crime in the past, or when he was younger. He actually committed armed robbery, right? So Daniel tries to track down somebody that knew Mr. Miyagi back then because he wants to know the truth. So he finds somebody at a boxing gym and he basically tells him that Mr. Miyagi, you know, he was always this nice guy that they knew. So what happens after that is, literally on the final episode of this part, what's revealed is that Mr. Miyagi actually fought in the Sekai Taikai. And if you look at the headband, there's actually blood stains on it, which means that this tournament is gonna be brutal. Now, if you guys remember back in the old Karate Kid movies, Mr. Miyagi stated is that he never fought in a tournament before. He only fought for his life. So what does that imply? So yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see what happens in part 2. So yeah, I actually quite like this first part. So yeah, I can't wait to see the second part. And part 2, we're going to see a lot of fighting because it's going to be the Sekai Taikai tournament, which means we're going to see a lot of badass fights. So yeah, I can't wait. So that's all from me. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.